Tampa Bay Rays outfielder Brett Phillips. So Perez had to wear a Tom Brady jersey during batting practice when the two teams met.
Looks great.
Well, the Royals tweeted out a video with Perez in the jersey, but he turned to the camera and shook his finger and said Patrick Mahomes is the best. So Brady saw that and responded and said, no, well, okay, so we're skipping one. But basically, he responded and said, I think actions speak louder than words, because the Royals said otherwise. And then Mahomes got in on the phone and tweeted back, I guess we'll see in 20 years.
Yeah.
I think this is just playful. Some people are thinking it might be, reading a little bit more into this.
Are people think it's serious?
Well, I mean, there's two very competitive guys, and, Brady said something about it, took a little jab, and Mahomes did too. And Mahomes, that's a big declaration. Like, you're talking to Tom Brady, who you just lost to in the Super Bowl, about what you're going to do in 20 years. We all agree that Mahomes is the most talented quarterback in the league right now. Like, we know that, yes. Yeah. What I think when it comes down to the GOAT debate, similar to, say, Jordan and LeBron, what LeBron has had to do has been so much, like over such a longer period of time, to prove that he is in that, and now he's obviously in that air with Jordan, but to pass Jordan in people's minds, that's my thing with Mahomes. Like, just not be disrespectful to what Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and the Patriots did over the past 20 years. Like, we're all focusing on this glamorous, fun, new version of Tom Brady with Tampa Bay, which is incredible. But that was a dynasty that had a lot of things had to fall in place to make that happen. Like, let's just start with their offensive line year after year after year, building in the trenches the way that Bill Belichick did with those defenses. Like, there's a lot of things that have to fall in place to have a dynasty the level that the Patriots did, and that's what you're going to need to do, or an incredible over-the-top amount of statistics to pass Tom Brady.
Yeah. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Chris Hogan, the former Patriot wide receiver, bounced around the league. Patriots, Buffalo Bills. Great lacrosse player, by the way. Some thoughts on the draft. I mean, he's a guy that, again, a lot of people overlooked the process of going through it, fitting into an NFL team with Chris Hogan next. Folks, I like Tecovas, the Austin, Texas-based company that creates great leather goods. The boots, but they also have all sorts of things. They have jeans, by the way, the men's jeans, comfortable, made with broken-in Italian denim, has just a hint of a stretch to it, fits over a boot, right fit for everybody. Outstanding. Jeans, T-shirts, ball caps, boots. You could dress head to toe in Tecovas, men's and women's Western wear. Cotton pearl snap shirts, which, by the way, you can wear with a T-shirt, without, day and night. Cool enough to wear in the day. Sturdy enough to wear at night if it's a little chilly. Visit Tecovas.com. They also have multiple retail stores, building more every week. Walk a little taller. Tecovas, Tecovas.com.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders. Every sub makes a difference, so we make our subs differently. Like our new pepperoni pizza meatball sub on a toasted garlic bread sub roll. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
That's amazing.
Be there for a couple hours while they decide and can't leave. And if they call you, you're not in. But if they knock on the door, then you are in. And it's like, so when we were waiting to see if he was going to get in, it was me and his two sons and Tom Garfinkel and Nat Moore from the Dolphins. We're in there waiting. And my niece isn't there, so she keeps calling him. So every time the phone rings, he'd be like, no. So we had to tell her to stop calling, and then obviously he got in. But yeah, it's such a life-changing moment, the draft. Like, it means so much more than just like your next job. It's like your what you want to do for your family and where you're going to live for the next couple years. And it's just who you're going to play for. Who's your boss gonna be.
Can you imagine for the rest of us? I'm a broadcaster, and I'm waiting for a network to call me.
Yeah, we talk about it very casually, like it's like, oh yeah, like this is what you're prepared for. Like, it's not how you decide where you're going to go to college. It's not how these guys decide where they're going to go to college.
What if it's a horrible team and a bad coach? And you're sitting there thinking you've been the last 10 years a kid watching Andy Reid and Sean Payton and Belichick and Pete Carroll, Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, and it's a guy that, and it's the new Eagles coach in his second year.
Ready to play rock, paper, scissors? I think, you know what, I think these guys are competitors at the highest level, or they wouldn't be getting drafted. So unless you're a quarterback where you kind of know, like, all right, I'm going to have an uphill battle, I think you're optimistic and you believe that you can change what's going on there. Like, you're excited for the opportunity. And, you know, there's not that many jobs in the NFL, so it's still an honor to, you know, have a team want you anyway. So the first overall pick last year was Joe Burrow. His rookie year was cut short, ACL and MCL in week 11. But he gave a very encouraging update about his recovery heading into next season.
I'm very optimistic about where I'm at and also where the team's at. Rehab's going very, very well. And lifting is going very, very well. I'm in great shape. Legs feel good. Knee feels good. So there's still a long way to go, but I'm expecting to be there on the first snap of 2021.
Very exciting. Don't play him in the preseason. There's no point.
No, there's no point. Get an offensive line also. Love the idea of getting Kyle Pitts if he's available, but he's not going to be able to get to Kyle Pitts if he can't stay upright because there's no offensive line. I'm very excited to see Joe Burrow next year. I was really disappointed to see him injured, like devastated for him. Obviously, he's the #1 overall pick, and he's with an organization that now we're, you know, excited to watch, and the Bengals have been traditionally dysfunctional. So hopefully they can get that offensive line figured out, and we'll get a full season out of him next year. But glad he's doing well in his recovery. So Devonta Smith's size has been a big question and concern leading up to the draft. He did not get weighed or measured at Alabama's Pro Day, but those numbers were taken at a medical check earlier this month, and he is reportedly 6 feet tall and 166 pounds.
And that is 30 pounds less than me, and I'm just an inch taller. And I am thin.
Yes. Look, you can look at him and see that he's thin. I think Joe Platt made an interesting point earlier, that how you use him is going to be important. Don't keep him in the same space. Get creative in your offense. He is a good player. He's a Heisman winner. Like, if you like Mac Jones, I think you would probably like Devonta Smith. I mean, he has a great body of work. Obviously, you would like him to be a little bit bigger. Marvin Harrison is trending on Twitter right now, and so I wanted to look and see, like, they were comparing what he was entering the draft. He's 6 foot tall also. 178 pounds, so a little bit heavier. You know, there is something to this and what your body and your frame is.
But here's my takeaway. Marvin Harrison was at a basketball school 25 years ago. The quality of Alabama's weight program is like an NFL team. So he's 12 pounds lighter at a football school where they are totally committed to building guys up physically.
He is 22 years old. So he can still grow a little bit into his man body a little bit. He's still very young. I think he's going to slip because of this. Whether that's good or not, it depends on where he goes, obviously. Like, if he were to slip, say, far in the draft, and he ends up with someone like, I don't know, Kansas City or Tampa Bay, like if he falls that far, or Baltimore Ravens could use a receiver, like, that's a situation that I think could work. Go to a creative offense where you don't have to rely on him to every single play. You have a lot of pieces. You can move him around. I think it might actually benefit him. Sometimes guys fall in the draft and it ends up being very beneficial to them.
You end up with a good team. Yeah.
So, speaking of Kansas City Royals catcher Salvador Perez